Hey, what's up everybody? Today's video we're going to be talking about the Season 14 rewards and the Rocket Pass 6 extension that is going on, as well as kind of a reworking of the rank system altogether because there's still a lot of flaws to it that I have in mind. And as always, if you guys enjoyed the content and want to support me in other different ways, social media links that are showed right here can be found in the description down below. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you give it a thumbs up and turn on subscriptions and hit those notifications just to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the daily Rocket League content. But with that said, let's get straight into the action. So if you guys didn't see the news, Season 14 Rewards and Rocket Pass 6 has been extended, basically trying to overhaul some things and what they're talking about in a big update for the end of summer. So we're going to kind of work through this video and just go step by step on all the new information that's coming out. Also being straightforward with you guys, not doing a whole lot of coverage of all the community tournaments going on. Gold Rush ended up finalizing. We've still got Salt Mine going on. The APL tournaments for the Asian and Middle Eastern teams are going on. So there's a lot of different things that are going on, but rather than me just saying like, hey, these events are happening, here's the results, I'd rather give you guys the resources so you can go and check that stuff out, and those will be in the description. But overall, I would love to focus on it, but being completely honest, I actually have an Apex Legend gig I'm casting every Thursday moving forward, so I'm pretty busy in the terms of my content, my casting career, as well as making YouTube videos when I can. So this is the latest update and post from Psyonix in regards to what's happening with their rank system, which I still have problems with, which we'll get to in the end of the video. But overall, this is kind of just a walkthrough of what the new update is about if you haven't seen it. The biggest thing about it is in the latest and most recent blog post, they talk about how they have plans for the rest of the year. Obviously, the 5-year anniversary event is currently going on, which is just more of the same, which I have a problem with. But they're revamping and kind of refocusing on how the ranks are going to apply, which, again, I have a big problem with, which I'll talk about in just a bit. So the biggest thing to talk about is that work includes changes to the competitive play, like new ranks for players at Grand Champ. We're extending the current competitive season and Rocket Pass 6 till the live date of that update. So towards the tail end of the summer, they will be having a update that comes out. I assume they're going to hopefully align that with the RLCS season now that it's been officially announced for broadcast on August 1st. But the official start date is actually on July 27th, towards the end of this month. So what I hope they end up doing is that they align the rank system with the competitive season as well for the RLCS, so those are aligned, and maybe they start working those things forward. They do talk about, from their community manager Devin, how they have a bunch of really fun things planned, and I continue to hope that they not only help things on the esports side, which is stuff I'm invested in, but stuff in the game as well to help the casual fan base. They then go on to mention that since they are mentioning the end of the competitive season, that means it's time to reveal the season rewards, which are all listed. It looks like they're going to be player banners and avatar borders. So there's actually double rewards that are happening here, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. This banner itself is one, and then the border itself is another. So there are actually 14 rewards going on. Grand Champ 1, I'm a big fan of red, black, white, if you guys couldn't tell. So those are my go-to colors, but I think my favorite thing about these is in the past, we've always had to see tweaks and adjustments to the wheels and stuff because they don't look correctly. These are very distinct in what rank they are, which is weird because they also said in the past that they wanted to go away from a distinct color from your rank so you can use any single one at any given time. But I do like the association and the color and the overall look to these. I think they're pretty clean. Based upon how these apply, if you hit Grand Champ rank, and anything below it gets included. So they start off and basically talk about how if you're bronze 1 or higher, you get the player banner and avatar, and that applies to every rank. So if you hit bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond, champion, and grand champ, but if you end up hitting any of the ranks above it, so if you get silver, you'll get silver and bronze. If you get grand champ, you get everything. The only difference though is if you get grand champ, as you guys know, you also get a title in game with it, and those also still apply to the extra game modes. RNG champ for Rumble, Floor Destroyer for Drop Shot, Dunk Master for Hoops, and then Snow Day is Blizzard Wizard, which I think is probably the best name, but I think Drop Shot probably means the most. I very rarely actually see Floor Destroyer titles in-game. Then again, I haven't played in like 2 months, so maybe that's why. Very end, they say that they have a big update that they're working on, which I hinted at the beginning of this video, and say to stay tuned because in the next few weeks, there should be a reveal. So rough timeline actually goes in line with the start of the RLCS season, which is that July 27th time I'm talking about. So hopefully things coincide and they end up putting a rank season for every year or every 6 months. But in some way, it's very similar because right now it's like we're in RLCS X, which is 10, but we're finishing season 14 going into season 15. So If they could find a way to align that, it might make it a little bit easier for the casual and the larger audience to understand. So the frustration I have is that they're still talking about adding more ranks, and it doesn't fix the core issue of the problems with rank, in my opinion. Right now, rank is in a place that I have a lot of frustrations with, both as a casual and as a player who used to actually play this game regularly. The problem is I personally have yet to play ranked in probably 2 months, and I'm still Grand Champ with no decay. Like, I have no incentive whatsoever to play ranked. And normally the incentive would be like, if you don't continue to play, you'll lose your rank. But because I don't even bother queuing it, it just sits there idle and I still get rewards and I still don't have to achieve it. So I find like the entire system of ranked needs an overhaul, and there's a multitude of reasons for this. Number one, right now ranks are extremely inflated, and I hate to say it, but the general casual player base, there's a lot of players in Grand Champ, Champs 1 through 3, Plat, Diamond, you name it, where all their ranks are inflated. Part of the reason why this is because Psyonix has yet to do a hard reset in the rank system for a very long time. In an elo-based system, you're supposed to allocate a certain percentage of players to create a bell curve to determine where they are. And right now, all these things are inflated significantly past where they're supposed to be. Usually they say the highest rank in Grand Champ should be like 0.2% of the player base, and right now it's 0.7. So over triple the amount of players of Grand Champ that are supposed to be. It's supposed to be the most difficult and the most challenging rank to get, and you still have thousands upon thousands of players in it, while you look at other games like League of Legends and stuff where they have a buffer in between. In my opinion, if they're going to readjust the rank system, they need to do a hard reset, scale everybody back, make sure the bell curve is according to what it's supposed to be. And yes, the casual fan base is going to complain, and yes, people are going to get their feelings hurt, but if that's a big deal, then you guys should be playing casual and not ranked. In my opinion, ranked should be a place to prove your worth, to show that you are significant enough to be in a certain rank. The issue with ranked right now is the whole purpose of it is not to show where you stand in the player base. The point of ranked right now is to give you an arbitrary number, and that is going to basically do its best to make sure you match up against a similar play style. So if you guys have noticed it, if you go on a win streak and you're crushing it, you're slowly getting into these higher ranks, eventually you get to a point where you hit a threshold and you're playing people that are significantly better, if not the same of where you're trying to get. In my case, happens all the time when I'm finally making it. I'm Champ 3 going into Grand Champ. And even though I'm not Grand Champ yet, I'm playing people 1600, 1700 MMR, but yet I'm Champ 3. And just because I'm on a win streak, it tries to like put a cap on it. So you have to not only play people that are supposedly better than you, but you have to do it consistently and still win, and then you probably have a terrible teammate and you have to carry them too. So if I am crushing the rank system and I am on a win streak, what you should do is you should be giving me additional MMR, so when it gets to the point where I am proving I'm also playing other Champ 3s, I am currently Champ 3, and I'm beating them heavily every single game, maybe that means I shouldn't be Champ 3 anymore and it means I should be Grand Champ. So the system works almost backwards to where I should have to prove that I belong in a rank, not prove that I'm in that rank before I even get into it. And it drives a ton of people crazy. And that's being then mixed in with the inflated ranks that are already happening, where there is a ton of people that shouldn't be where they are. And part of the reason why is because Psyonix has yet to do a rank inflation adjustment for the longest time. I think that we saw the last one back in season 4 or 5 or something like that. It has been 10 seasons since we've seen adjustment to the rank system and dealt with the inflation. That blows my mind that they have yet to do anything about it. And they're fixed for it because a lot of pros just keep grinding and keep increasing the amount of MMR they have. Their decision is to add another rank rather than adjusting the inflation and then just making like a top 100 incentive. Because that's part of the issue. Pros don't have a reason to play ranked either. They just do it because there's nothing else to do. They need to find a way to incentivize players in ranked. And I have talked about this in numerous videos. If you guys haven't seen my How to Fix Rocket League video, I recommend going and checking that out. But in detail, there's a lot of things they could do, like a club queue. I think that solo standard is a giant waste. Nobody really queues it. Even when we had like 400,000 people online, I think there was like 2,000 people playing, which is like nothing. So they could adjust that and make it club queue, where club queue, you have to queue with a full team of 3. You have a ranked MMR with that team. You have to play so many points. If you guys have ever checked out League of Legends rank system, it's very similar to how they do their challenger system. But these could be ways that you incentivize people to play ranked, and it would work great with your newly announced The Field. If you implemented this system into your game with a club queue, it works really well. The tournament structure is already built into the game. There's a lot of fun things that you can do with it that need a massive overhaul if they would just do it. Most times with Psyonix, and I hate to be critical during all of this, my biggest issue is they start features and the features are cool, and then they promise a update in the future, and then it never happens. We never get it. So the custom trainer system, the tournament beta, like all these things have yet to be fully fledged out, and we've got to rely on third-party apps and mods like Baga's mod to give us the actual features that we're looking for. Overall, I think the rank just needs a massive overhaul. They need to incentivize top 100 so the pros have something to grind for. I think a club queue would be absolutely fantastic, especially if they implement it with the field for the daily tournaments and the weekly tournaments, and they revamp the tournament system and make things happen so you can do it in-game. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed, but I think the one thing that doesn't need to happen is to add an additional ranked. I think they just need to incentivize top 100 and fix the inflation, add a decay system, and honestly overhaul it. But apparently, according to some of their developers, the rank system is working as intended, so maybe the system itself isn't flawed, it's just a system. Either way, guys, that's going to wrap it up for my rant about the rank system and all the new features that are coming. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or additional ideas, make sure you guys drop those down below and let me know what you guys have to say. Otherwise, if you guys haven't already, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and like it, as well as hit subscribe and turn on notifications to make sure you don't miss out on any of the daily content. But I'm out of here. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.